Get started here. We'll wait 1 second for the quarterback to get back in the chair.
I just want to hear questions.
Come here.
Where we at? What they looking at?
It's my friend. Say hey.
What's that? It's up there. They all on mute?
Yeah, they on mute.
Oh. We following proper precautions.
That's right.
You know,
we're all good over
protocol.
here. DJ's not getting sick. Not on my watch.
There's only one way we can start this press conference, and that's with a question from Gary Smits.
Who? I don't think I know it, Gary.
Hey. How's it going, buddy?
What's up, bud? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Hey, I know you guys haven't been able to do a whole lot, and it's real early, but since you were able to get back on the practice field last week, where do you think you've made the most progress in fundamental-wise and then in the new offense?
Yeah, I think the big thing so far is, clean up a few things technique-wise with drill work with Coach McAdoo. He's bringing in a lot of experience, worked with a lot of really good guys. So all the quarterbacks were just eager to learn from him. And then I think once getting in the offense, it's all about communication. Whether it's at the line in the huddle, just making sure everybody knows their job, and all the quarterbacks are doing a good job of getting everybody where they need to go.
And a couple of the guys have said that you've come back and including Dave Caldwell, you've come back in excellent shape. In your off-season workouts, was there anything you wanted to emphasize as far as physically? Did you want to get bigger in any areas? Obviously, nobody minds being faster, but what was your whole emphasis during the off-season workouts and working down at Naples?
Yeah, working with Coach Anthony Tamburello down there. Got a lot of good work in. Obviously, speed was a big, area emphasis down there. And then, at maintaining as much strength as I can, to put as much on the ball as possible with my current weight. So we had a lot of good work, and now I'm glad to be back with Coach Malo in our weight room here and continue that process here.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Smitter. Let's go over to Gene and then D-Rock.
There's a lot of things I know that you want to get accomplished this year, whether it's communication with your receivers, better efficiency in the red zone, things like that. But what is at the top of the list for you when you're checking your boxes of what you want to get done this year? What surfaces to the top for you?
Yeah, I think it's hard to set goals like that far in advance. I think we set it every day. We want to get better. I think we went out there today, we got better. Got better at some blitz pickup, a few different things, and I think if we get better at one thing every day through camp, through the year, by the end of the year, we'll like where we're at.
Thanks.
Thank you. Let's go live from Lot R with Mike Duraco.
Gardner, when you first met Leonard, were you unsure what to expect from him? Did you have any preconceived notion of what he would be like? And, as far as your dealings with him, how would you describe him and what's he like to be around?
Yeah, being from the South, like Leonard's a legend, dude. Because he's been like the 5-star number 1 player in the country since like he's in 8th, 9th grade. So everybody knew Leonard like basically forever. And to be on his team was really cool. He comes in, he handles his business well, does his job, and he's been great this camp. Been a great teammate, and looking forward to him doing the same this year.
You guys obviously have a little bit of the same personality, joke around a lot, like to have a good time. So when you two guys are in the locker room and stuff, how fun can it be with you two guys? And if you have any stories for it.
Yeah, no, we got a lot of personalities in the locker room. He's obviously a big one. I joke around at times, I guess. And then you got guys like Miles Jack, who's always doing the same thing. So really those two, that's the stories you need to get because they're at each other about every day. That's who you need to check it on.
Thanks, bud.
Thanks, D-Rock. Let's go to Jamal St. Cyr.
What's going on, Gardner? You brought in DJ at the beginning of this meeting. Talk to me a little bit about how you guys' relationship. How do you feel like your timing's involved with him since this time last year?
Yeah, no, it's huge. I mean, this time last year, we didn't get to work together very much at all. We had a few reps in the preseason, and then we were kind of thrown in it in the regular season. This offseason, got a lot of good work with DJ. Like I was talking about at the beginning, just the communication. Really understanding what he's thinking in certain things, and me explaining to him what the goal of the play is, what I'm thinking. And I think that's going to allow us just to understand each other a lot better and hopefully be on the same page more this year.
And you did get a couple of reps with DJ last preseason. Does that help? I mean, that you've had more reps with him at this point than probably any other receiver on the team.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're trying to work towards that with all the guys that we're going to have in there. But it absolutely helps. I think the more reps, more communication, the better we'll be. Because when he can kind of expect what's coming and I can know what's coming from him, I think it allows us to be a lot better, play a lot faster.
Thanks, Gardner.
Thanks, Jamal. Let's go to John Shipley and then Demetrius Harvey. Go ahead, Chip.
All right, cool. Hey, Gardner, just how big is it to have a guy, like James O'Shaughnessy back on the practice field after the connection you two had on the field last year?
No, it's huge, man. I was so happy. I saw James today, came up, gave him a big old hug, man. Just ready. So excited for him coming back. Like, he's, through the part of the season where he got hurt last year, like, we really developed some chemistry. He caught some big balls for me. And just so happy for him personally, to be back out here. I know the fight that he's had. Just trying to get ready for this and to have him out there it's a lot of fun.
All right. Thanks, Gardner.
Thank you, John. Go ahead, Demetrius.
Hey, Gardner. I'm sure you saw that the Pac-12 is canceling or postponing the fall football season. Have you reached out to any of your guys at Washington State? And if so, what was sort of your message to them? And also, if you could just touch on how important it would be for a player, especially someone who is like yourself, who just got into the year, kind of went, six in the sixth round, and then just going on from there. How important is it for you to have that season?
Yeah, no, I reached out to a couple guys, and I'm probably going to reach out to a few more, just see how they're doing, man. I know the amount of work that they put in. I know how bad this sucks, especially for those older guys, that, don't know what the future holds right now. Don't know if they're going to have their senior year at all. Don't know if they'll get the year back or what. So really just feeling for those guys. Hope they come to a resolution, sooner rather than later. And I just told them to keep their head up. If there's anything I could help them with, I'd love to help.
How important was it for you to have that final year?
Yeah, it was huge for me. Without that year at Washington State, I wouldn't have been drafted. Probably would have gone undrafted. So it was truly a blessing. Like, I couldn't imagine if I wouldn't have had that, don't know, my life would have been way different. So definitely fortunate, blessed, whatever you want to call it. But I'm extremely grateful for where I am. And I hate it. It makes me hate it that much more for those guys that are in that situation this year.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Demetrius. And let's finish with Jordan, with Coach with Gardner before Coach Gruden.
Hey, Gardner. Did you work on your pocket presence and footwork in the pocket this offseason, as well as the strength and conditioning aspects of your game?
Absolutely. That was a huge part of what I did. Basically, every time I was throwing, had somebody either knocking at the ball or just around me, trying to work kind of the subtleties, the subtle movement in the pocket, and still being able to throw. Kind of whether it's off balance or regaining balance quickly. So that was a big emphasis this year, and obviously ball security is something I'm taking very seriously.
Great, thanks.
Yep.
Thanks, Jordan. Cassidy, did you have one for Gardner?
Yes,
Yeah,
I did. Thank you. Sorry, let me take this mask off. Like you said, with Washington State, you only had 1 year, kind of bounced around. So how is this training camp different just from all of the ones in your past, not even last year, knowing you're the guy and you have a whole camp where you're the guy?
Yeah, I actually haven't had a camp like this going into it since, I guess, my senior year of high school. So it's awesome. kind of just being with the guys and trying to figure out how we, what we want to be as a team, because we get to define that right now. There's a group of guys on this team, group of leaders that have a very real opportunity to change culture here, to develop a winning culture. And I think it's already starting. I think guys are very excited to get on the field, whether it's even just for practice right now. So I'm just glad to be here, super grateful for the opportunity, and hoping to make the most of it.
We got to see you out there today and saw you making some calls. Has there been a time where, you've been standing there and then realized like, oh wait, I'm the one that's supposed to be speaking up right now?
Oh no, it's something that I guess I've just always had, had the ability to do. Just glad to have the opportunity now.
Thanks, Gardner.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Gardner. Appreciate the time. If everyone else
Thanks,
can hang up, get Coach Gruden set up. Okay. Jay, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started, guys. We'll start with Mike Duraco.
Hey, Coach, I was wondering what your preconceived notion of what Leonard Fournette was going to be like, both as a person and as a player, and if that's changed now that you've spent some time around him.
Yeah, I didn't really have any preconceived notions of him as a person. Didn't really know him. So as a player, I know he's a powerful guy with a lot of speed. I did a lot of work on him coming out of LSU, and obviously his statistics and his durability, everything was status quo. He's a great player, and everything you've seen on tape with Jacksonville, his production last year was excellent. And so far, so good, man. He's been working hard. He's learning our new system, and I'm excited to work with him.
Now that you've spent some time around him, what's he like to you? Like, what's your take on the kind of personality he has, how funny he is in the locker room, that kind of stuff?
Well, I don't know about the locker room. I'm not back there, but as far as his interaction with coaches, it's been positive with me so far. He's willing to learn. We're teaching some new things, some new concepts, new techniques, so to speak. And he's bought in and he's trying to learn it. And we haven't done any full speed stuff yet where I can see how hard he works at practice. But so far, from a mental standpoint, he's been a treat to be around. He's been learning. He's been attentive, and I like him.
Thank you.
Thanks, D-Rock. Let's go to Gary Smits and then John Shipley.
Hey, Coach, how fast is or describe Gardner's progress in picking up the offense and what you've been able to do to this point?
Well, we've mainly, like I said, we're starting to install the meat and potatoes of our offense, and Gardner's been great, man. He's had a good off season. We had the virtual off season, so we got a little jump start on it. And then he carried over until when we came back and started meeting here recently. So we got a long way to go. We got a lot of situational work to work. We got a lot of protections to tie down. We got formation, a lot of things, red zone. We got a lot of things still to add. I've been impressed with Gardner. He's a hard worker. He's willing to learn. He knows he's got a long way to go. He's got a huge upside. We're excited to tap into that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gary. Let's go to John Shipley.
Hey, Coach. At center, you guys have Brandon Linder. He's kind of been the anchor of Jacksonville's O-line for the last couple of years. How big is that for an offense just to have such a consistent player in the middle of it?
Yeah, I don't think people understand the importance of a center, a good center, a smart center, a productive center, durable center. I mean, it is a very important position in any offense. The communication he has to get through to the guards, to the quarterback, to the running back, the adjustments they have to make on the fly based on fronts or blitzes. He's been outstanding so far, and I'm very excited to get more and more in depth with them once we get to see more looks and more blitzes and more fronts. But I know it's something he can handle, something he has handled in his career, and a veteran presence like that, especially at the center position, is critical to any offense, and we're happy to have him.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shipley. Let's go to John Osher and then Mia O'Brien.
Hey, Coach. I'm wondering, with the lack of the off season and obviously needing training camp to get up to speed, will your approach in trying to get the install in changed? Where are you at with that, and how confident are you that you can get these guys up to speed?
Yeah, I think we'll get it up to speed. The good thing about the start of training camp has been a phase 2-ish type deal where we've had a lot of meetings. We've had a lot of walkthroughs before we actually practice full speed. So these last 5 or 6 days, we have a few more days leading up to our first practice, has been good. And we still have a lot of time without the preseason games. What that gives us is more time to have walkthroughs and get the looks we need to see getting ready for Indianapolis, Houston, and the teams that we play, as opposed to getting ready for a team you're going to play in a preseason that you'll never see again. So I think we're going to have plenty of time to get what we need to get in, understand that we have a lot of young guys. We have guys in this offense for the first time. And we just got to be patient, but we also have to demand a lot of these guys mentally. We can't just go out in 5 formations and run 12 plays. We got to challenge the defense. We got to challenge our guys and make sure we get the necessary looks and variety of offense that we need.
Thanks, Osh. Let's go to Mia.
Hey, Coach, I'm just curious. Obviously, like you said, a lot of these guys, this is their first time in the NFL, let alone in this offense. But when you took a look at the talent pool, when you first came into this job, what or who has excited you the most? And maybe now with the addition of those rookies, what chess pieces that you're obviously notorious for have excited you the most now that you're on the field?
Well, that's a great question. First of all, I always like to start with the line. I always feel like games are won on the offense and defensive line, and offensive line with Juwan. Obviously, we mentioned Brandon already. Cam is a young player that's going to develop into a great left tackle. Obviously, Andrew at left guard, solid AJ. We got a good veteran offensive line. They're well coached by Coach Warhop, so I'm excited about that. Everything else can function accordingly. The running game will be better. The passing game will be better. It starts with those 5 guys, and then the backups. Will's a good, solid player, played a couple different positions. We're excited about them. So, that's number one. And now we have to develop our quarterback. So obviously Gardner got to play 10 games last year. He's a young player. He's developing. He's an exciting player. But I like the way he plays. He's a very highly competitive young man, and hopefully we'll get something going for him that he's comfortable with and likes. And then the receiver standpoint, DJ, obviously his explosion and his ability to make plays down the field in the short game, pass game, intermediate range. He's going to be a heck of a wide receiver for years to come. Didi's an exciting guy. He played the slot only for his first year last year. He's got some learning to do, but I'm excited about Didi and his skill level. And then obviously the veteran leadership of Chris Conley. He's an excellent player. We added some rookies, so it's an exciting group. Tight end wise, James got back practice today for the first time. First time I got to see him. We added Eifert. I know Tyler from Cincinnati. Obviously, Josh Oliver has a skill set that is very, very intriguing and exciting. So I think we have the tools at every position that should make this team pretty exciting.
Thank you, Mia. Let's go to John Reed and then Jamal. Reminder to take your mute off, John. I can't hear you.
John's sleeping. I bored him.
All right, let's go to Jamal for this first one, then we'll come back to John.
What's going on, Coach? You've worked with some pretty talented quarterbacks, diverse group that you've worked with over your coaching career. How would you compare Minshew to some of those other guys that you've worked with?
I really don't compare quarterbacks. Really, I think each quarterback has a different skill set that you try to work with, you try to develop, and you try to hone in on to make them comfortable in whatever offense you want to run. And that's something that we have to get to know a little bit as we move forward. Quick passing game, drop backs, play actions, naked keepers, see what he's good at, see what he's comfortable with, and then go from there. But I really wouldn't compare him to anybody. Kirk Cousins, we had Colt McCoy, Case Keenum. There's some similarities there. Both of them are tough, great competitive, highly competitive players. Obviously, I had Andy Dalton as a young player, so he was able to pick it up in his first year as a rookie. So I like where his mind's at, number one. We're trying to attack his mental state of mind or challenge him with these concepts and protections. And so far, it's been great. But he's got a skill set that's really unlike a lot of players at that quarterback position. He's not real tall. Doesn't have a cannon, but he's just a highly competitive guy. He's got great anticipation and accuracy, and he can make plays happen when the plays break down. So it's going to be fun to work with him.
One of the things Coach Marone said about Gardner was that he had this ability to take things straight from the classroom out to the practice field and immediately execute them. With this kind of strange offseason and learning a new offense, have you seen that same thing from Gardner, just being able to take these concepts that you've talked about in these Zoom meetings and immediately take them outside onto the field and pull them off?
I think it starts by being able to call the play in the huddle, and he's been great. You got to be able to spit the play out in the huddle. There's a lot of words, formations, motions, shifts, possibly, and then the concept, the protection. He's done a great job of spitting that out, and then going back and executing. That's something we just got to keep repping. We haven't seen a lot of defenses, not a lot of disguises right now. Indianapolis is going to give you a lot of different looks. Our defense right now is pretty vanilla. As we get into camp, we'll see a lot more different fronts and blitzes, and they're going to challenge the heck out of us. So time will tell how we can adjust and how we adjust to those different looks. But so far, so good. Like I said, I've been impressed with them, especially above the shoulders.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Thank you, Jamal. Let's try again with John Reed. Okay, we'll go on to Jordan.
All right. Hey, Coach. How has it been working with Coach McAdoo so far? Both of you guys have been head coaches in the past. What's y'all's relationship been like, and how's it been, getting the offense together and the quarterbacks in the right direction with him?
Yeah, Ben's been great. He came in and learned new terminology. A lot of the same concepts carry over from team to team, but he has to put them in his terminology. And then obviously we do things a little bit differently from a protection standpoint. He's picking that up. But the main thing I need him for is to really, really concentrate on the fundamentals of the quarterback. And he is able to work with Aaron Rodgers and Eli Manning, obviously. So he's got a great understanding of the quarterback position. We got a lot of great examples to work from. So the most important thing with those guys is footwork, fundamentals, and he's doing a great job. And then obviously once we get started, helping me out with concepts and ideas, he's been through it. He's done it. That's another great person to lean on throughout the year.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jordan. I see John Reed on the screen now, so last chance, John. We're trying to make it work. It says you're still muted. Yeah, okay. Let's go on.
You're muted. You're muted, John. You're muted. Still muted.
John.
He's like me when it comes to computers. I'm not
Press
very,
conferences in 24.
this virtual
All right,
stuff
let's
is
finish
confusing.
up with Mark Long. I'm going to see if John can text me his question, and we'll try to get that in at the end. But go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, hey Jay. I'm just you touched on the tight end position earlier. I'm just curious how integral is it for your offense? And it's been a little bit of a certainly a missing piece here for a number of years. Where do you really like these three guys, the main three there, for how they'll fit for what you're trying to do with that position?
Well, I think we have a number of tight ends now, not just the three. But we have a lot of guys to look at. You have your different type of tight ends nowadays in the NFL. You need your big guys who can handle the running game and base formations. They have to be able to block a defensive end from time to time. They have to be able to get up to the linebacker. They have to have the agility and the able to adjust. I think it's one of the toughest positions to play other than quarterback, because you have to be firm and solid in the running game, and then in the passing game, you got to know all the concepts. You got to be able to read man or zone. You got to be able to come out of your breaks, get separation, and not many people can do both. But obviously, Josh Oliver, with his strength, he's gotten a lot stronger, I guess, from last year. He's got the power. He's got some speed. He's an exciting young prospect. James has played it a lot. Tyler's played it a lot. We just got to figure out how to use them. 2 tight end sets, possibly 3 tight end sets, 1 tight end set. All of them have a great skill set. We just have to figure out what their skill set is and how to best use them. And, ideally the best type of guy is a guy who can handle the core and also get up in space and make some things happen. Or we can, mix and match guys and utilize their skill set accordingly based on what they can do.
Thank you, Mark. And I'm going to ask John's question, Coach. Now that you guys are back in, it's phase 2 today for the first practice. Where's the status of the offense right now, both on the field, off the field? Where's the progress been?
We're still in diapers right now. We got a long way to go. But I'm excited about the guys. First of all, you got to have guys that are willing to learn and willing to work. And I feel like the mentality of this football team, Coach Marone does a great job of setting the tone for this team. And these guys have come in and they don't act like they know it all or I've done that, blah, blah, blah. They're willing to learn and do things the way we want to do things now. Some things will be similar, some things will be a little bit different. But from a walkthrough, from a mental standpoint, from the ability for them to pick up and learn, has been impressive so far. But once we get the pads on and you go in and day out, we got hopefully they keep their effort level high and able to learn new things on the fly and be able to adjust. So got a long way to go, but I've been impressed with every one of them so far in the walkthrough phase that we're in right now.
All right, thank you, Coach. Mark Long is also still in diapers, so it seems like he's got a lot in common with our offense. We appreciate it. We look forward to having you on in a couple weeks.
You got it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Reminder to hydrate.